humanitarian awards. Millionaires. How can they be humanitarians by the fact that they millionaires and there's so many poor people shows how unhumane they are?
Why do so many people believe that the US government had a hand in Tupac Shakur's murder? Well, here's the twist. Comedian Katt has entered the conversation and he's pointing fingers at Uncle Sam. It's not just Tupac's connection to P. Diddy that's raising eyebrows. It's his involvement in political activism. Tupac, you see, wasn't just a rapper. He was a passionate advocate for political change, and he came from a family with strong ties to the Black liberation movement. The US government had a less than friendly history with this movement. Back in the day, the FBI under J. Edgar Hoover ran the notorious COINTELPRO program, which aimed to disrupt Black nationalist groups. They used various tactics, from excluding Black families from housing programs to undermining Black economic progress. And it didn't stop there. They were accused of being involved in the assassinations of key figures like Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, and Fred Hampton. Now, this is where Katt comes in. He's not one to shy away from speaking out against the powers that be. In his words, if you believe that Tupac's murder was solely about Suge Knight, you're missing the bigger picture. Suge Knight has been around, out in the open for 2 decades, but this isn't about him. Williams suggests there's a deeper story, a hidden truth, and it's something they won't openly discuss. So what's the deal here? Katt and Tupac's father are suggesting that Tupac's outspoken activism might have put him on a dangerous path, a path that led to the crosshairs of the US government. The Shakur family had long been on the FBI's radar due to their connections to the Black Panther Party, a group that sought to bring about change and justice for African Americans. Tupac's mother, Afeni Shakur, and his biological father, William Billy Garland, were actively involved in the Black Panther Party's activities in New York during the late 1960s and early 70s. In fact, just before Tupac's birth, Afeni faced a trial as part of the Panther 21 criminal case in New York. Astonishingly, she was found not guilty of over 150 charges. Other members of the Shakur family who were affiliated with the Black Panthers faced serious legal troubles, including criminal convictions and imprisonment. One of these members was Tupac's stepfather, Mutulu Shakur, who was on the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitive list for 4 years. In 1986, he was found guilty of participating in a 1981 robbery during which police officers and a guard were killed. He served nearly 37 years in prison before being pardoned in December 2022, but sadly he passed away just 8 months after his release. Tupac's godfather, Elmer Hieronymo Pratt, was a high-ranking figure in the Black Panther Party who was wrongly convicted of murder. He spent 27 years behind bars before his conviction was overturned. Shockingly, it was revealed that the evidence proving his innocence had been concealed by the prosecution. And then there's Tupac's godmother, Assata Shakur, a former member of the Black Liberation Army. She was convicted of first-degree murder in the killing of a New Jersey state trooper and remains on the FBI's wanted list. In fact, the FBI is offering a substantial $2 million reward for information that leads to her capture. Could the FBI have been trying to reach Assata Shakur through Tupac? According to John Potash, author of the book The FBI War on Tupac Shakur, Tupac's late mother Afeni always suspected that the FBI might have had a hand in her son's tragic murder. The complex web of connections and histories within the Shakur family adds a layer of mystery and suspicion to Tupac's untimely death. One of Afeni's close friends shared a disturbing detail with John Potash. They mentioned that after Tupac's tragic death, Afeni was striving to distance herself from radical political activities. Her primary motivation was fear for her son's safety. According to Potash, she aimed to stay away from this to protect herself. Potash also made a claim that U.S. intelligence intentionally supplied Afeni with drugs to fuel her addiction and undermine her activism. He stated that they consistently provided her with crack cocaine to push her into developing a full-fledged addiction. This, Potash argued, was based on the evidence he uncovered. Can you believe that? Potash also highlighted that following Tupac's murder, Afeni collaborated with former U.S. Representative Cynthia McKinney in an attempt to pass a bill that would disclose all government documents related to Tupac. Unfortunately, the bill was rejected. In response, Potash resorted to filing a petition under the Freedom of Information Act. However, he only managed to obtain 99 pages out of a staggering 4,000 that the FBI holds concerning Tupac. At the age of just 18, Tupac became a member of the New African Panthers and began publicly condemning police brutality and advocating for the release of political prisoners. He eventually ran for the position of chair and secured the election. In this role, he actively organized convened meetings and worked tirelessly to engage young people. Tupac's forward-thinking approach becomes apparent in an interview where he discusses his mother's influence. He explains how she taught him three essential principles: respect, the pursuit of knowledge as an eternal journey, and the importance of not staying silent. Tupac's mother encouraged him to speak his mind but also emphasized the significance of listening and gaining knowledge from it. She used a simple yet insightful analogy. God gave you 2 ears to listen and 1 mouth to speak, suggesting that we should listen twice as much as we speak. When it comes to the notion that the government, particularly the FBI, might have a role in Tupac's death, John Potash contended that they employed a similar tactic that they allegedly used on Tupac's mother and other activists, like Huey Newton. This tactic involved manipulating them, which included attempts to get them addicted to drugs or involved in a gang culture, knowing that this could ultimately lead to their downfall. As Tupac delved deeper into activism, he seemed to become a target for powerful forces. John Potash suggests that despite Tupac's talent and brilliance, he was manipulated by Death Row Records, a label funded by U.S. intelligence. His manipulation steered him towards promoting more negative lyrics. However, when Tupac attempted to distance himself from that and leave Death Row Records, some argue that this may have led to his tragic end. Interestingly, in one of his final interviews, Tupac expressed his desire to shift away from the music scene and focus more on movies, using his influence to promote positive initiatives. He mentioned a budding movie production company and various exciting projects. He intended to push the envelope, work extensively, and transition towards acting, emphasizing that he wanted to create thought-provoking work with his music. He believed that by exploring different environments and learning more, he would have had a wider range of experiences to draw in from his work. Tupac's father, William Billy Garland, stated in a recent interview that the arrest of Keefe D, who is linked to Tupac's murder, might not hold much significance. The key question, according to him, revolves around the alleged role of the government in orchestrating Tupac's murder. He asserted that Tupac was being surveilled by the government on the night of his assassination, particularly during his visit to Quad Studio. In another twist, a video of Katt Williams has resurfaced in which he shares a similar sentiment, insinuating that the same forces responsible for eliminating Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X may have had a vested interest in Tupac's demise. He suggests that if the police claim nobody shot Tupac, it implies that a sinister hand was involved. This has led some to believe that Tupac and his family pose a significant threat to the establishment, which could explain why he was eliminated. Who can forget Tupac's iconic quote? "Every time I speak, I want a shiver. I don't want them to be like they know what I'm gonna say because it's polite. I'm not saying I'm gonna rule the world or I'm gonna change the world, but I guarantee you that I will spark the brain that will change the world." All in all, this subject is riddled with speculation and questions, prompting various perspectives and theories. Could the US government have played a role in Tupac's murder? Feel free to share your thoughts on this matter in the comments below. Thanks for watching.